Welcome to the Proverbial Life Podcast. This is a podcast that encourages Christians to look to Christ, live wisely, and leave a legacy behind for generations to follow. I am your host, Edwin Ramirez. Look to Christ, live wisely, leave a legacy. 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 What's going on, everyone? Grace and peace. Question: how are you supposed to deal with accusations? People are going to bring accusations against you. What do you do about that? Well, first, you should listen. Listen to the accusation. Listen to what's being said about you. Listen to the claims that are being made about you, and ask yourself the question: are they true? Are they true? Before you think about the person who's making the accusation, ask yourself the question: are they true? Now, that may take a couple moments, may take a couple days, but you can ask yourself that question and evaluate and see, is it true? Is what this person's saying about me true? And if it's not, reject it. So first evaluate it and then reject it if it's not true. And oftentimes you can tell the this is especially if you know the person, you've kind of seen their character, you know their theology, you understand where they're coming from, and that doesn't mean they are not making a legitimate claim against you, but you get a feel for where people are coming from by who they are. And if this is a legitimate brother or sister who's godly and wants to obey the scriptures and is seeing some discrepancies in your life or something you did that's out of character or not good, then you should receive that. But if this is somebody who's wishy-washy, someone who doesn't seem to have a form of godliness, or is actively obeying the scriptures in the home and in their own lives, and is these, that doesn't mean they aren't right about their accusations, but it's also taken with a grain of salt. Okay. Now, you hear the accusation and then you either receive it or you reject it. But also keep in mind that if an accusation is brought against an elder, for example, there needs to be two or three witnesses. There needs to be some substantial evidence to prove, to show that this person has sinned. And I think that's another thing we have to consider. Has this person sinned? If this is a matter of preference, if you don't agree with the way they did things or how they said things, then that's one thing. But if you know, and you're holding that against them and you're categorizing them in the area of sin, then you, my friend, are the problem, not the person who made the statement. Again, we should evaluate ourselves. We should see whether or not the claim is true, but we should not just receive a claim because someone made an accusation against us, right? We shouldn't be quick to say sorry, quick to apologize for something we did not sin against the Lord or our neighbor on. And I think that's vitally important, beloved. You know why? Because Satan, the accuser of the brethren, will cause you to always be bent low in a guilty posture as if you always did something wrong. And it takes away that the courage for you to do the things that God is calling you to do. That there are going to be times when in the midst of battle or in the midst of defending the truth and contending for the faith, that you say things the wrong way or with the wrong tone and all these things, right? But beloved, you're seeking to glorify God. You're seeking to speak the truth, right? And you're attacking the enemy's fortress. You're tearing down his lies. And so when these accusations come against you, beloved, evaluate them, consider them, and reject them if they're not true or if there's no evidence for them. And so that's how you deal with accusations. That's how you deal with them. You don't just let the devil bully you around. You don't let people use their guilt or their inability to walk with the Lord to guilt you into feeling how they feel because they see your courage, because they see your tenacity. No, beloved, you stand firm in the Lord, be confident in God and in the scriptures, and you have a heart that is bent low before the Lord to walk humbly before your God. And as you do so, accusations are going to come. But beloved, put on the whole armor of God and live by faith. All right, y'all. Till next time, this is The Proverbial Life, a podcast where we encourage Christians to look to Christ, live wisely, and leave a legacy behind for generations to follow. Grace and peace, y'all.